Three, two, one. Oh, that felt like a Joe Rogan intro. I love Joe Rogan. He's a big inspiration of mine. And we're recording. Folks, so I've been doing way too much, but I like this stuff. So it's not way too much. It's just time consuming, but it's in a good way because I truly like this. I
Yeah,
like to talk. I think I like the sound of my own voice, which I really don't. It's real cringy. I think I sound cheesy. I
you're
apologize to
good.
my wife.
You're good at talking. That's what it
Too much, too much. But
is.
the reason I'm here, folks, is I want this to be a space where you can come and get inspired. Not necessarily by me, because all I'm gonna do is tell you to just try it. Worst come to worst, you there's money to always be made, folks. Look, there's always jobs. There's always somewhere to work. There's always a warehouse. There's always a internship. There's always somebody looking for volunteer work. There's always there's certain things that are always there. You know. Now, I want people. What I want from this is for people to truly feel comfortable with taking that leap, taking that chance. Because I would hate. I love watching people reach their goals. I love watching people hit milestones. I love watching people be able to provide for themselves or for their families or for the things they care about, whether it's charities and whatnot, or just that free time. I love watching people be happy. Man, happiness is truly when you see it on somebody and you see it in somebody. Like it's a dope thing, and I love watching people who are happy and they're grinding. Like I look at Gary V. I love Gary V too, and I just like this dude's working all the time, but you could tell like it ain't really work to him. This dude would do it in his sleep if he could, and I just feel like everybody has access to that thing, and especially in the internet world that we live in now, you can. I watched this lady sew. She was sewing and knitting blankets on Twitch. I saw one guy, he would draw comic books and coloring books on Twitch. You got people who like me. I play video games, make YouTube videos. Some people, all they do is go through and talk about their favorite TV shows. Some people, they even have it now where you can run a radio show off your phone. It's an app called Anchor. I probably should put the link below. But you can. There's so many ways to do something, and that's just me talking about the internet. And then I'm here with my main man, Mr. Andre. Mr. Andre, three stacks,
Mr. Baron J, man.
dude.
This is my
Look,
boy since, man, one of my first, man, it's dope, man. Every time I talk to you, I just flash back to like 2010, 2011.
it's nuts, man.
Good years, man. Like some of
God,
my primal years. And uh yeah, man. And like, to be honest with you, man, like you weren't at Riverside for that long. But
nope.
I'll be honest, man, like you're one of the most consistent people that I have in my life.
See, that's funny because folks, I screwed up in school. I had a lot of fun.
I didn't
Uh,
even put it out there like
no,
that.
no, no. It is, and once again, I love telling the story because it is what it is.
I think it fits into the topic.
Yeah, that's my whole get down. Like,
Yeah.
I really want people to know it's real out here. And it's okay to fall. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to party a little too hard and then make a comeback and actually finish your degree at a different school because you got kicked out. Things happen. And folks, when it comes to education, from my standpoint, I've always gotten degrees. I've always felt undergraduate degrees are just to get you in the room. Because immediately when you see that I got a bachelor's, it carries it. You have to look at me slightly different, and that's the only reason I got it. Because personally, I school's so much of a business for me that
Yeah.
I wish I could have just bought my degree. Because I would have rather hustled and worked hard and just bought it.
Essentially, degrees are to be bought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
man, the cost of a college tuition, it's ridiculous, man. Like,
It
it's it's out of this world.
Yeah, it's outrageous. And speaking on school, and then I'm gonna let Andre kind of introduce himself because
Mm,
I like hearing people talk. Because I talk too much, and that's all I do is talk. And I want Andre to give his background. But first, I just want to say this: when it comes to school, folks, please, unless you're going to a field that only certain people from certain schools thrive from and have access to everything. Like you'll hear certain people like, "Oh, I gotta go to USC for this. Or I gotta go to so and so for that, so I can have all the clout and this and that and the fraternity of it all." And I sometimes I get that, but please do not go broke to get a bachelor's.
yeah, don't do
Just don't. If you got a state school down the street and you don't mind living with your family, they don't completely get on your nerves or completely check on you where you are every 5 minutes,
that.
then
You're not suffocated. Yeah, do it,
yeah,
man. And
stay
like
home.
you, like going off of that point, I don't know how much this relates, but don't feel ashamed if you have to go to community college.
At all.
I didn't go to community college. I'm not even gonna act like I did or like it
I
changed
didn't either.
that. But to be honest with you, like thinking back on it,
I wish I would have.
yeah, I kind of wish I did, like just to um, sort of have that experience, but also as someone who teaches at the university level. A lot of college students who come from the junior colleges, the local junior colleges, they've been my best students.
Because they're groomed up. It's like
Their
going to the
their
farm league. They were
their
raised into it.
their work ethic is so much better than these people who come straight out of some Orange County high school.
Yeah. I,
Like whatever.
I, I've always felt high school did not truly prepare me for college.
Oh man, not at all. Not me.
Um, I think high school should have been more about time management, finances, like real life stuff.
Hmm.
Because once I got to college, they literally retaught me everything all over again. It was a it it, it seriously was a thing of I had to I had to restart. I had to start over. I had to go to English 1A. I had
Yeah.
to go to the basic math all over. Not basic, but I had to go to I think like college level algebra. Um, I had to literally start from the bottom, so I could have completely just got scanned through high school and would have been for the most part all right because I had to do it all over again.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying this, folks, is don't let don't let those type of things be the hinder. Like you hear stories about like Ava DuVernay. Like I don't think she directed her first movie until her 30s. Like it's never too late to do anything.
Be great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be great, man. And one thing I will say is through doing all of this, through the streaming, through YouTube videos, through podcasting, contacting people, linking up with people, I will say that I feel I feel this is something that completes me because I could have easily just had something to eat, got in the bed, and got ready to go to work in the morning. That's easy. That's super easy to drone out day in, day out, day in, day out. I
Yeah,
was
man.
just,
Yeah.
that's the easy thing. And sometimes if you got your dream job, then by all means, man, be happy. I worked at the mall. If they honestly paid me more, I would have still been there. I enjoyed it, but then they changed owners and a bunch of other stuff. I like the interaction I had with people, but now I'm taking that interaction I had with people and turning it into something that I can do from home, so I can be around my kids, and that's podcasting, YouTubing, live streaming, content creating as a whole. These things rolled over. It was a passion I already had. I love interacting. I love talking to people. But now I'm funneling it into something else. And that's what I really want people to be able to do is to take their passions, take that one thing you're good at. If it's throwing horseshoes or, whatever it is, if it that one thing that you could stand on a soapbox and talk about for 8 hours, that's what
Mhm.
you need to really be investing time into. And there's so many ways to do it, and that's why I'm doing this show. I felt like I had a name coming. It was about to hit. Like I felt like that was a transition, and
Man,
it
you'll
was
think too.
boom. I think
Yeah,
for
punch.
now, I'm gonna just call it Conversations with Baron J67. We'll stick with that. Um, our positive vibes with Baron J67. I don't know. Dang.
Hey man, that doesn't sound too bad.
Positive vibes with Baron J67.
You know, something to do with like, concern with our dream
Yeah.
or something. I don't
Well,
know, man. It'll hit
Andre,
us before the
that
end of
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Folks, I'm gonna let Andre give a little insight about him,
uh,
and I'm gonna shut up.
nah. Well, man, where do I start? What do you want me to? I mean, okay, let me shut up also. Um, so yeah, no, what did I just do? I just entered my 6th year of my PhD program. I guess that's the starting point. Studying ethnic studies at the University of California, San Diego. I have a bachelor's degree in African American Studies from University of California, Riverside.
Woo woo.
Aaron at. Yeah, I mean, and I can talk all day about, my research, my relationship with public schooling, and what it is that I want to do later in life, or even now, things that I might want to do in this upcoming year. Um, it's definitely a lifestyle that I didn't know that I'd be in, um, but I knew I wanted to do something related to teaching pretty early. So, which is, kind of like the impetus on why anybody goes into a lot of the humanities fields, right? So, English, philosophy, literature, all that stuff. So yeah, no, African American studies was kind of I guess my response to why I don't say I did poorly in high school, but I wasn't, I wasn't special, like I was getting B's and C's like in all these like
Yeah.
smart people classes, and not because I was stupid, but I was kind of that person who'd be like, oh, okay, we're reading Dickens. What about reading Baldwin? So I was kind of that person. Like what about the black people?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was that person. So so I don't know. Maybe I could have tried harder in high school, but like obviously high school didn't really have any impact on like where I got to now. So which is okay. I'm not mad at that. But aside from that, I'm a real big lover of music. I'm a music head. Like Baron knows that.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, man, I'm into yeah, a lot of music, a lot of yeah, I'm into sports. We bonded over sports
A few
for
times.
yeah, a few times, but that wasn't really the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I should have, been more athletic or whatever. But no, my main thing is that like I'm mainly in the educational sector. I'm into teaching. I'm into writing. I'm into publishing. Um, I'm into any sort of uh, I don't say field or interaction where I am given some sort of a platform where I can actually teach topics that I didn't necessarily learn in the classroom.
See,
Right.
and I what I love about hearing that is it truly fits into what this is all about. Is like, folks, here it is. He something he felt from what I'm getting. Correct me if I'm wrong. You felt like was lacking in your education growing up.
Oh yeah, big
Here it
time.
is. You're making it your life's journey because this is your life. You're making
Yeah.
it your life's journey to put it back out there to make sure that somebody else is not gonna miss out due to nobody doing it.
Yeah.
And that's see, you can't beat that. That's something real deep rooted. I know, from hearing that and hearing how you talk about it, it's got it's got that special place where that almost that thing that makes you wake up every morning,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and that's a heck of a thing, man. And I know there's people out there who go day in day out ignoring that thing,
Yeah.
and we can't have that no more because let's take it to a business stretch. There's presidential candidates out there. I usually don't talk politics, but there's presidential candidates out there who are looking at the economy like, hey, things are going to be aut- robots taking over.
hmm
Things are going to be how do you, damn it.
Um, mechanized.
Yeah, we're okay. We're mechanizing a lot of our workforce.
I think you're trying to make the word robot into a
Yeah,
right?
every look instead of
Robot,
romanticizing. No, it's automation. Everything's going to automation. There you
automate,
go.
automate.
Whoo!
There
Gosh,
you
I
go.
clearly need my cornflakes,
God, why was
guys.
that so hard for both of us?
I could, man, all these degrees in this room, and but no, but folks, the workforce is being is leading towards automation. Think about it. I just ordered my new lighting, and my new camera off of Amazon. I didn't even walk into a store, and
Hmm.
here it is. I got two new additions to my repertoire, and I can
Hmm.
say freaking repertoire, but I can't say automation. God, I need a break. But the thing is, I think if as a people, because you're gonna have something to fulfill that day. Like let's say all these automated trucks. Let's say bunch of stuff just happens. Heck, they're even making it harder for Uber drivers at LAX. Like there's so much crazy
Oh,
stuff that's going on, and here it is. These are ways that people feed their family. Now, what I think everybody should have that craft, that skill, that thing they're good at to nurture and fall back on and to give value.
mhm.
Because I feel like a lot of people often, I don't have my stats on me, but which I should. In next podcast I will be coming with some stats. um Certain demographics, when they get out of work, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to volunteer. They don't know how to pick up a craft. Most people don't even have hobbies. Most people's hobbies include
Oh,
eating, watching TV, and going to sleep.
yeah.
Like it's
A lot of
those
times
aren't.
people say, what do you do for fun? Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
No shame if
cool.
that's your thing. No shame. But
Yeah, no
like,
shame, because I'm a binger
you're
myself.
a
But
big.
I'll watch Netflix as I'm working on a new video, or I'm watching Netflix to come up with a new whatever, or it's in background noise. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, because that far from it. I'm terrible, but I really am. But what I'm saying is there's so much more, and it doesn't have to be this grand scale thing. And I'm talking again, and I cut you off. Why didn't you shut me up?
No, 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 man. Not at all, man. Yeah, I mean, it's man, and so I'm in, like I said, I'm in my sixth year of my PhD. Um, there's so much I could say very negatively about what I do, my field, the people I work with, but I'm not gonna do that. Like what I will say is that a lot of times, I don't know if we've talked about this before, Baron, but a lot of times, just among other PhD students, among each other, among us, like a group of us. Sometimes we'll get into these conversations that resurface every so often that circulate around the question of, if we weren't in grad school, what would we be doing now?
Mm,
Like, what are some alternative career paths that we would do? Right. So, like, it's around different people, but like, a lot of times it might, come back to
yeah.
the same people, the same question. Some people will say, man, I would have gone into physical therapy. I would have gone to dental school. I would have gone into, um, you know, being a youth minister at my church or something like that. So anything not, PhD humanities academia, right? And I always tell people, anybody who knows me, especially in the past, however long I've been in grad school or whatever, after the sort of the bedazzlement of going into a PhD program has completely died out. I tell people straight up, man, I would have got a job at Costco.
Yeah.
I'm like, you ever like, I was like, next time you go to Costco and you're checking out, look at the cashier's name tag. You know, been working here since
Decades.
92. I'm like, man, like there's longevity and security in a place like Costco. Like me as a PhD student, I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna be next year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's gonna want to hire me. I don't know if I'm gonna get hired as a professor here, in Southern California or Kentucky, Indiana. Some random place that I don't know anything about. But I was like, man, if there's anything that I could just like wish that I had was some sort of stability,
Mm.
right? Like I know where my next paycheck is coming. I know I got retirement. I know I got health. All these different things. Um, which a lot of times, like when you have grown up in a society where capitalism is based off of your ability to produce as opposed to your ability to create something,
Yeah.
right? Um, Obviously, that's gonna it's gonna alter the way in which you perceive of what it is that you should be doing in life, right? That's why a lot of people might have a passion, but they're like, hey, I'm not gonna do it because it's not gonna get me a paycheck next month.
True.
And which is a reality, man. It's true, it's real, and it's a real material consequence of a lot of the conditions that we've been raised under. And that's not necessarily a bad thing on anybody's part, but
Oh
it's
no.
it's definitely something that makes us think like, damn, what are we actually really doing? Like, like I always tell people, like, get a hobby.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
make sure you're not only talking about your research. Make sure you're not only looking at things to read that concern your research. Like, read something funny. Watch something stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever decompresses whatever jargon is swiveling up in your brain. Like, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And I say that as a means to remind myself to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's I guess I could talk all day about it, but it is something that, like, I always return back to, and to say, all right, I'm actually happy with knowing that I'm going to be teaching for the rest of my life. Like, I'm actually really happy with that. Like, I know that's what I'm supposed to do. I've been doing it for years now, and uh, I have the documentation to prove that I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my student evals. I got people who've evaluated me at the faculty level. I've got people who've hired me based off of that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, is it the most lucrative job? No, it's not. Um, will it pay off? I hope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's definitely a passion of mine. It's definitely the reason why I do wake up, and it's definitely something that I see its problems, I see its issues, but it's not something that I wish any different. At least upon myself. Like, it's still cool to, like, try to figure out other ways to be able to support myself, and support my family, support my mom. I want to be able to do nice things for the people I love. And a lot of times, um, it means being stable. You
Yeah.
know, and that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's not anybody's fault.
Yeah.
It's the reality of the situation for a lot of us.
And folks, for if you're new to seeing, like, if this is your first time seeing me or hearing me, I'm not gonna do video for a while on this till I get my system right. But I work full time pushing papers. I work in social services, 40 hours a week, 50 miles away from my home. I push papers, and I do that. I get up. I'm out so many hours a day to provide for the opportunity to sit down and do this.
Hmm.
Like, for me, my job is to make sure that my kids have insurance, there's food in the fridge, the cars got gas and their work, and that's what my job is for. And there's nothing wrong with having a job and having a good one. There's nothing you can, like, I love when I see rappers who are up and coming and they work. Like, and they work 9 to 5, like regular clock in jobs. I like that because it's okay to be human. It's
Hmm.
okay to do the right thing. There's other ways of making money. That's out there, but it's okay to do the right thing. There's nothing you should never be ashamed of working. But what I don't like is people shunning the idea of pursuing passions and dreams for work. No, it's just maybe you don't get to watch that 2 hour season finale of whatever when right when you want to.
Hmm.
Maybe you only get 5 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, there are sacrifices that can be made that over time aren't as big as what would be to sacrifice things that make you whole.
Hmm.
Like I actually worry about this generation, you know, this social media driven world right now as older people. You know, I really like, it's a weird worry, not like some like doomsday or you know, I just want people to feel whole. You
Yeah.
know, have some pride in what they did, not just, you know, oh, I got, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm not
No,
dissing
no.
it.
Let me give you an example, man. Like, for example, I like most of my students, um, maybe this is a UC San Diego thing. Actually, it is a UC San Diego thing, but I think it's more of this generation, this current generation. What are we, Generation Z? Is that what they are?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't.
Anyway,
Once again, I'm gonna have
whatever.
my research in order next time, people.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But a lot of them um, will. None of them are history majors, English majors, any of that stuff, right? Um, and so I got two examples. So none of my students see the value of a degree in the social sciences or humanities because it's not something that they necessarily see as profitable later
Gotcha.
on, right? So obviously that affects my teaching, right? Because I'm
Mm.
teaching for a room full of engineering students, um, you know, pre-med, bio, computer science, which are dope fields. They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Do that. Um, but obviously they're taking my class as a requirement, right?
Gotcha.
As a humanities requirement, something that they need to get in order to graduate. Which, you know, do you? That's fine. Like I did the same. Like I took, I took entomology, dude. Like I'm not, you know what
That
I'm
was
saying?
actually one of my most favorite classes. That's
Like,
funny.
I
But I'm
took
a science
that.
nerd, so
I took all these classes that were just requirement based, but
yeah.
I'm not even mad at that. But the point that I'm trying to get at
Shout
is,
out to Dr. Pairing. Dude's
man,
legit.
I I took that class and it was you loved it. I hated it. I hated that so much. But yeah, no, and so it's like a lot of these students will take my class, but literally will tell me I just need the credit. You know, it's like, what? How does that make me feel as an instructor? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm not passionate about this stuff, and then I start to show them and talk to them, and like then you start to see the viscerality of it, like when they start to, oh my god, you know, like people still go through this stuff today, or she made a comment about lynching. Like that's a real thing. I thought that was just from the 1920s and the 30s. Like no, that's a real thing, man. Like that's a reality for a lot of people that unfortunately you have to learn about through a college classroom as opposed to an actual life experience, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's one piece of it. And another piece of it I would say is the thrill that I have when I have maybe one or two black students in my class,
Mm.
and neither one of them are African American history, sociology majors. They're in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
They're still in the STEM fields, because they kind of feel some sort of allegiance to their families to be able to make what it is that they might not have been able to make, maybe financially, fiscally, but also socially, right?
And let's pause right there for a second. Folks, I do understand wholeheartedly wanting to make your family proud. I understand the whole, you know, making your dad proud, making your mom proud, keeping that promise to grandma, becoming a
Mhm.
doctor, that you made when you were 6 and you had no idea. Like you know what I mean? Like I really, really, I truly get it. But I'm gonna tell you, one of the most freeing things in my life that ever happened is when I basically got kicked out of school.
You guys,
Because
I stopped seeing Baron out of nowhere.
yeah, I really did just like fall off the face of the earth on campus, and I was a fairly well known guy. I'm not gonna say I was popular, but there wasn't a building I couldn't go to, and I didn't know somebody in it.
Yeah.
Um, and UCR was a pretty big place,
It's really
Uh,
cool. Yeah, it's getting bigger too.
yeah, except the parking lots. They just
Yeah, except
refuse to.
for parking lots.
God, how do you
Yeah.
just keep adding more people, charging more, and then I bet you they still ain't increased classes.
I
Let me
think
stop.
I
Let me
think they
stop.
have, yeah, no, no, no. I think they have a street on that, which doesn't matter, but I mean
Yeah,
parking is still shit.
yeah,
So,
parking's crap, but yet you still charge the same, and don't even. Oh, bro, I actually okay, folks. Sidebar, another sidebar to the sidebar. I used to have like a small revolution against the parking staff.
yeah.
I would like purposely park in crapped up places or in spots I clearly shouldn't be in, and then I would take that little $35 ticket because I thought I was balling and pay it and just look them in their face like I'm gonna park there again. And I was bro. I have never. I had so many parking tickets. Like it was stupid because I just refused. I was like, no, no, I'm not. This money's not worth my spirit. I'm not parking all the way in lot 30 to
Hmm.
get to a class that's dang near by freaking Lothian. like,
Oh yeah.
like, folks, this is
Long
literally
walk.
cross campus.
That's a
Like, I
long.
kept a scooter and a longboard
Don't
in
you have
my
to cross the
trunk.
freeway?
Yeah,
Go
you,
under the freeway
you had to go under the freeway bridge.
and cut through the main
Yeah,
quad through the
yeah,
hub. Yeah, it's bad.
yeah. It's terrible. And I kept the scooter and a longboard, and I got scars on the back of my Achilles to prove it. When you hold on to instead of just falling, you try to hold on and catch yourself. Then the back of the scooter comes and swings around and hits you in the back of the leg, and it just man, are you hit? You hit a crack, or
Oh
you
yeah.
hit a oh, bro, I've got the wounds to prove that I went to UCR.
Oh man.
But back to the point of what was I talking about? I don't know.
Okay to make your family proud.
Oh, family. Look, folks, I follow the wisdom of Gary V only because it's simple. If you're living off the bankroll of your parents, and I'm kind of chopped up quoting Gary V, you do got to follow the rules. It sucks, like if I'm living at home and my mom says you need to be doing this or that in order to live here, that's what you got to do. It's respect, it is that thing. But what the real benefit and what will really help you get along and really make you feel proud of yourself is if you go out and you struggle through to
Mhm.
what you really want. It just works that way. Like nobody can tell you, nobody can knock your dreams and your goals and your hustle if nobody's bankrolling you. They can say it, but it don't feel the same no more. Like I've gotten talked to by my parents. It don't bounce off. It don't hit me the same way because at the end of the day, it's like you guys don't pay for nothing I do.
Mhm.
Like so, I love you. I respect you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. That's what's not gonna happen. But I'm not gonna sit here and live my life according to how you guys think I should live it. And yeah, it's rebellious. That's true. But at the same time, it's self care because I know plenty of people who are absolutely miserable in their profession because they only did it because that's what their family wanted them to do.
Oh yeah.
We're we're fifth generation doctors. We're all lawyers. We're blah 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 blah. And it can be something as simple as taking over a family business. It ain't even gotta be, maybe you don't want to be a baker. Maybe you don't want to be a mechanic. You spent your whole life growing up in a mechanic shop. Don't mean it's time for you to take over. Some people would actually argue against that. Like, no, it's the family business. You keep that lineage going. But I'd rather have you mentally here, physically and emotionally present and
Yeah.
living life than just drudging along day by day doing something that you wouldn't have done if you had a choice.
Hmm.
So yeah, folks, really like do it for you. And it's okay to struggle. There's nothing wrong with it. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
Struggle's part of the process.
Man, if it means something.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, but you have to make it mean something. It's like you know, um, yeah, and I mean, even just to be honest about it, like this whole PhD process, man, it's not fun.
See?
It's really not fun. It's like I could be getting paid working basically anywhere full time than I make, as a teaching assistant, a graduate instructor, um, an adjunct lecturer, all these different things combined. Like I can make more with a 9 to 5. That's already established. Like that's a known fact. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we already know teachers are
The numbers
underpaid.
show the show itself, right? So I'll admit, I'm like, man, I could be a lot more stable doing a lot of other things that are easier to do, but I don't necessarily feel that I should be doing because it's not what I want to do as an end goal. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, so it's just like, and like, my mom is always telling me like, don't worry about it. You're like, you know, um, it's gonna pay off. You're gonna,
yeah,
I'm just like, you know, and a lot of times we don't hear that enough. You know what I'm saying? We
man.
don't hear that enough. Like my mom, she doesn't know anything about my research. She doesn't know what I do. She doesn't know what I deal with. She doesn't know the faculty I deal with, my committee, the requirements. But she's just utterly convinced that no matter what happens, I'll be fine. And like I said, like we don't hear that enough. But it's also like a lot of times, a lot of that mental gymnastics just rests upon myself. Like me, like I'm over here struggling. Like I got rejected to 7 things I applied to out of the 8, and I know I'm gonna get rejected to the 8 because I submitted it late. So it's like all these different
Yeah,
things just pile up, and it's like you don't really have a choice but to actually be strong enough to convince yourself, like, hey, uh, I'll be all right at some point. Might not be now, might not be 5, 6 months from now, but I'm not going to be in the same state years later. Like,
exactly.
it's not going to be that way. So that's why, like, if you're listening to this and you're, taking college classes somewhere, be sure to tell your professors if you like the class. Let them know that you like that class. Let them know, like it'll definitely make their day. Like a few times where I see it in my evals, or a student might, write me a small note of like a thank you card or something like that. Stuff definitely makes a difference, even if it's not a thank you card or like anything as emotionally invested as like and all that. Even if it's just a matter of, hey, I really enjoyed your class. Do you mind writing me a letter? Like a letter of record. Do you mind being a reference for me at some point later? Um, do you mind um, talking to me about how I might be able to double major, if not minor, so I can take not only your class or a class like yours again, but other classes that are related to what you taught, right? So that stuff is important. It seems small, but like if you're in college, if you're thinking about going back to college, um, really look out for the professors and the instructors and the TAs that you thought were most useful for you. Because yeah, we're all struggling. We're all definitely struggling, especially the graduate students, because it's like admin, then faculty, and then undergrads. Like graduate students, like are somehow like the forgotten underclass of the university setting. Like a lot of the research is produced and pushed out through graduate students, but like we also have to grade the papers. We
Yep.
also have to deal with the students who are adjusting to being away from home for the first time. We have to deal with the students who have mental breakdowns in section because they don't know how to turn in their work on time, and instead of coming to you with their problems, they just stop showing up to class altogether. Like that's
Me. Like,
like that's a real thing, man. Like what you went through, Baron, that's symptomatic of a whole lot of students, man. Like they're just like, I'm here because my parents really want me to be. Um, I don't necessarily want to be here, and that's okay. Like I tell
yeah,
students, like if you don't want to be here,
there's
I'm not offended.
nothing wrong with that.
I'm
Yeah,
not offended. Just let me know. I would recommend that you either stay in the class and just do your best just to get a passing grade, or you really do the work of really trying to find out what else to do, whether that means you take a leave of absence,
yeah.
take whatever, right? um
Which what's so crazy. I seriously could have just withdrew from classes and I'd have been fine. but
Mm-hmm.
my pride and fear of disappointing my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy how I I I mean, I don't know, but I don't regret it because I experienced a lot. Like I will say, I got the college experience. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I got the college experience. I only thing I didn't get was like frat life. That's the only avenue
No,
I didn't.
you don't need that.
I really don't. I didn't. That wasn't something that really pulled at my heartstrings. Like nothing against it. I see. Just like with a lot of things, it has its purpose, and I'm grateful that people who need it have that road. There's some people who truly need that,
Yeah.
and
And
there's
some people who don't need it, but they want it. That's cool.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
good, and it's there for you.
Got a lot of
But
friends who are in fraternities or sororities.
yeah,
No
heck, my
problem.
brother's frat. Like it is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have anything against it, but I had fun in college. I wish I would have knew about online school, because you got to think we're that generation of like where online school used to be like a gimmick to
Mm-hmm.
where now it's like the real deal. Like
Yeah.
and at that time it was that weird, like schools were starting to have online programs like state schools and different universities and private, like it was starting to really be that thing. And if I would have knew, I would have seriously dropped out or transferred my units and went and finished online.
Mm-hmm.
I just, because sitting in class, unless it was a class that I truly enjoyed and a topic I like, I took a philosophy class called Evil. A couple gender study classes I took were dope. Atmospheric chemistry was dope. Organic chemistry was dope. But like all those, there was so many other classes that I felt like I was wasting my life in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you had your professors who you could tell they were tenured and they was just failing people for fun. Like
Yeah.
you had those. It was there. But that's life in general. You
Yeah.
always gonna have those heavy road bumps. But folks, I really, really, really want to drive it home, and that's going to be the serious theme of this podcast. Is do what's best for you. It's okay to struggle. It's all right not to live in the best of neighborhoods. It's all right not to have the nicest car. I I think most I think my cars are all like 2005 and lower. like and that there's nothing wrong with that.
Get you to work. That's it. That's all that matters.
There's nothing wrong with it. I've
But
watched people go broke for car payments. Like,
no, no, no,
no
no.
way. No way. Like, and then don't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
It's, if you like photography, go take the $60 photography class at whatever. They offer them. You see the little tabs of paper. You see
Mm-hmm.
like it, or even put yourself out there. Craigslist freelance work. Like, hey, who needs photography? I just want to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Take a Saturday out. It just, these things are so doable that, and it's crazy how many people do not do it because either they talk themselves out of it or they get into that whole comparison culture where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh well, so and so does this, and I'm like, no, don't even worry about that. Like, don't even, you can look at that for inspiration of where you may want to be, but don't ever, due to comparing yourself to someone else, stall your growth or your
Mm-hmm.
potential, or well, it won't be as good as, like, no, just do it,
Right.
Nike.
Let's do it. I'm more of a
Man,
guy anyways, but
man, dude, it's absolutely crazy. There's so much life out here, and I'm a firm believer that in the future, I forgot what was that billionaire's name, Ma. There was a billionaire, and he was like, we gotta get more in touch with the soft things. The technology is there. That's great. I love it. I'm a science nerd. Like it, y'all just heard me. I talked about a philosophy class,
this
evil,
guy
and
was
then
a bio major.
yeah, I was a bio major, biomedical major. I was also a
Pre-med.
sociology major. Yeah, I was pre med. Like I like it. I like that. honestly, I think school ruined my love for that stuff, to be honest with you. Because I was a kid who collected rocks. I wanted to be an archaeologist or a paleontologist as a kid. What kid wanted to be a paleontologist? I legit would like find ant hills or ant holes and like carve them out at an angle so that I could see it. Like I was that kid. Collected rocks. I think I got a bag of rocks from the Grand Canyon right here. Like it just it's what
Yeah.
it's. My dad gave me a geode. I got it sitting up on my rack. I got three of them actually. Like, and then I almost bought a meteorite the other day.
Yeah,
like,
you guys came up on our last episode, man.
yeah, they did, and I legit almost bought one. I found a site where they sell them for fairly fair prices. Then I realized my aunt gave me one growing up, and then my mom threw it away because she thought
Yeah.
it was junk, and it was an iron meteorite that my mom found on Highway 80. My aunt found on Highway 86 when she was building it. Um, Crazy, but these are passions that clearly I still got a thing for,
Hmm.
and if somebody would have took that time and nurtured it, sent me to more science camps, maybe less football practice, like who knows where I would have been. It's not that it's too late. If I really want to get into it, I can go start taking online classes and become a YouTube and geologist. Sounds fun. Um,
I'm
got
with
plenty. Yeah, right. Like it's there, folks. Oh, and for those with kids, whatever they're good at, nurture it. Just pour water all over it. Like, just feed them, give them whatever they need. If like my kids, my daughter is doing like little pirouettes and talking about clothes, so she may need to go to a little kids fashion camp. You you never know until you try, and she loves animation, not even just on the level of just kids cartoons, but some when you see somebody kind of look at something different, like that might be your thing,
yeah.
and you gotta feed it and pour water on it, and even in not only for your kids but for yourself. Invest in yourself. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
rambling. Sorry.
oh, man, invest in yourself. Like even it may in different ways also because like especially lately, I have been a full on advocate for investing in mental health therapy.
Oh yes.
Oh man, like I tell all my friends, I've been telling a lot of my friends like even if you don't think you need it, it's definitely worth it. Um, I go to therapy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I go to therapy, and some people would say like, but like Dre, you're like the most put together, rational person that I know in my life. I'm like, that doesn't mean that I don't have problems. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like it doesn't mean that I don't deal with things internally. Like I can front it. Like I can front it pretty well. Like I'm the kind of person if I'm going through stuff, I don't really like to let it, permeate into, my surroundings. Like whoever I'm with, I don't like if I'm feeling sad, I don't want the people around me to feel sad.
Yeah, of course.
So but like it's not to say that I'm like, going through a lot, but it's just to say that like, if you have the means to do it, then why not?
Go.
You know what I'm saying?
Go.
The way in the way that like you were talking about now, like the technology is there, man. You don't even have to see a person like physically.
You can do it over your phone. They
Do it on
literally have
your phone,
programs.
you can do it on Skype. You could do it a whole bunch of different ways. Just find. It's like a menu, man. Just find whatever you think might be the best for you. If you want to talk to someone from your ethnic background, your religious background, find someone who does that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, investing in mental health. Investing in things like like self-care is a big thing now, is a word that's being used a lot in different spaces.
Which makes me happy because it's awareness to it.
Yeah, it's
Because,
it, it's important, because you'll burn out fast.
oh my God,
You'll burn
folks.
out fast with a lot of the ways in which we do things that will get us to our next paycheck, which is like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a job that's steady and it puts food on the table, and it might make you happy, it might not, but at least you're stable, financially, socially, whatever. But like for example, I was really contemplating this past week about taking a trip to the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles and just watching Yuja Wang. She's a
Do it.
classical pianist. The only reason why I didn't, the concert would have been tonight. Um, only reason why I did is because I got my paycheck late. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, got you.
That was
Got
really
you.
the only means to do it. But I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not doing anything tonight, at least. Well, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's just like this. Definitely, I was just like, I never do this for myself. Let me do it. But I was like, man, like I'm waiting for my next paycheck. You know, just the timing didn't match. But like, it's not to say that I might not do it later
Yeah.
or next month, you know, or something like that. So, um, because like I mentioned before, I'm just like, you know, not on this episode, but the last episode, I love classical music. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, the only thing I listen to, but I have a real deep appreciation for it. Classical music, but more specifically live music. So I love
Mm,
going to concert shows, things like that. My background is in music. Even before I got into this, you know, African American history, sociology, history type stuff, music was my thing. And to be honest with you, it still is. I'm not necessarily performing it like I used to, but it's definitely something that I couldn't live without. So it's definitely something that I say like if there's a notion of me needing to invest in something that makes me happy, most of the time it's going to go to something related to music, whether it's performance, whether it's a really rare record that I might not find, you know, anywhere else that I just happen to stumble upon at a record store that I've never been to. Yo, man, I got the extra cash. Why not? I'm not going to see this again. Let me do it. You know, I'm that person where I'll buy a record just because like I haven't seen it before. You know what I'm saying? So, or I might have seen it before, but I haven't seen that version of it. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So, so like when I said earlier, like I'm into music, it's not even just like I listen to music, but it's like I study it. You know what I'm saying? Like I study it, I read about it, I go into these wormholes of, you know, just researching just the artist itself. Um, you know, like that's me, that's my thing. And like, you know, sometimes I'm like, man, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money for that, but like like I'm letting this be a reminder that it's okay for me to be able to invest in that stuff. You know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, you know, nostalgic. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, there's like a real visceral component to returning to something that used to make you happy when you were younger.
Mm.
It's a lot easier.
That's why, like, I'm about to buy that meteorite. Like, I'm.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man.
like,
What?
folks, y'all think I'm playing? like, I got the cart.
Yeah,
Like, it's
might as
in the
well.
cart.
It's not hurting anybody.
No,
It's not
no,
hurting you. You know what I'm
and
saying? It's not hurting your kid. Like, just do it. You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
and folks, because we really are. We're cranking down to the final minutes. I this is real. This is real cathartic. Like it feels good because I didn't think it would feel this good for me because I planned it out. Like I got notes and all that, but actually doing it, this feels good, and I know it's gonna help some people, or at least I really hope it does.
I hope it does.
Because seriously, folks, you're talking to two people who are up past 10 o'clock working on something that's pure passion.
Hmm.
This isn't me clocking in. This isn't me making sure to reach a timeline. This is pure passion because I know what it does for me. It makes going through my day that much better. It makes my day at work go so much faster because I got something real to look
Yeah,
forward
when
to.
you hit me up earlier, like, hey, you want to record tonight? I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
I hit Andre up today.
Yeah.
This was seriously
I was
super
like,
last minute.
man, like, I'll, you don't even have to ask. Like,
And folks, like I just want you guys to know executing, like I watched a video, I forgot the YouTuber's name. Maybe somebody listening will know and put it in the comments. But execution is the cure to a lot of things. Just doing you'll get better. I watched a video or another video earlier that talked about YouTubers and how they found their success. They didn't find ultimate success even after doing 100 videos. They were like they did 100 crappy videos just to reach their first couple hundred subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that same path. I've got 440 plus subscribers right now. Shout out and much love to you guys. And I've got over 200 videos out.
Yeah.
like it's crazy. I got over 200 videos. That's not even counting my podcast. That's not counting the two podcasts that I technically just started this week. This one and then Starcrossed Gamers. Shout out to Johnny, man. And then that's not counting Urban Retcon that I used to do. We need to jump back on that. Tone, we need that. The streets need us. Like, and it's funny. I just said all that, and I don't feel overwhelmed by it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful that I'm able to do it, and all it does is cost me a little less TV shows, a little less sleep. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like that. That's all it cost me. I had to restructure to make sure I still spent time with my family. So that's why I only do this a couple days out of the week, and I do as much as I can, and then I have dead days, because I didn't realize on my original when I first was trying this stuff out, I didn't realize how much I was missing out on my family, and folks, you got to find what means the most to you, like what truly matters. While that's a major component of it, but at the same time, if you're not whole, you can't successfully do for others. Like, people feel it. People know when you're off. People, you come home super stressed out and irritable, looking forward to nothing but the bed. Like, people feel it. It's not a completely internal thing that nobody can notice. But if
Mm-hmm.
if you had something to work on, it's something simple, something, hell, I got board games. I don't know, like, it just that thing. You got to that thing. Find it.
Find it.
Um,
Go on Groupon, just see what's available.
yeah. Oh, dude, we got hooked on shooting. Oh, we would go to the gun range. We had to stop because how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Bullets cost a lot
Tried
of
it.
money.
Unless you
Yeah,
try it.
yeah, bullets cost a lot of money. And
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. This is my final note. Uh, when I first shot that gun, I immediately understood. As soon as I shot and I, bow, and I was like, oh, like, this is what I get it. It's way beyond safety and security and freedom. Nah, it's power.
Power.
like you just got
That
power.
song, I don't know if you've listened to it. Nas's "It Was Written" album called "I Gave You Power,"
Ooh.
where he writes, he's speaking from the perspective of a gun, and it's literally what you just described.
Oh, see,
It's
bro.
literally it's power.
Okay. Oh, that's what I want to say. You need to do, and what you probably already done, but I need you to put it in digital PDF or hard copy or audiobook. I need you to write a historical like hip hop novel or whatever that goes throughout the decades and properly shows how music was affected by our society and vice versa, and how things led, because like they're barely starting to do it. That's what's real creepy. Like, all of the, like, think about it, most of the hip hop, like, mainstream documentaries have came out in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
They're barely doing a Wu-Tang series.
Hmm. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
like come
I think
on.
I think Notorious was like the first one,
Yeah,
maybe, and then
this
uh,
is all new. They
it's all
barely did a Tupac movie a couple years ago.
yeah. All Eyes on Me. I heard it was really bad.
Yeah, but still, it was done.
It was done, right? Okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And the thing, I think the reason why people were so mad about that is they ignored the extracurriculars of Tupac, the acting, the drama school, the people he actually knew
Hmm.
outside of music and the things that he did. I think that was why I didn't watch it, but I remember hearing people, they were like, they
Right.
didn't even touch on all the movies he did. They didn't even, like, you worked with all major actresses from Jada Pinkett to Janet Jackson. Like, how do you not, incorporate that into, you know
Yeah.
um and that's what makes you who you are. You went to an art school. Nothing wrong with
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Makes you more complex.
Hmm.
Like my next question would be, well, how can you do what you're doing knowing that was an origin? You
Hmm.
know, and then even his family background, Asada Shakur, like like all of there's so many things that I feel like they completely glazed over just trying to make a poppy Tupac movie.
Hmm.
Let's throw in a couple tracks and somebody who looks like him, and let's see what goes down.
Yeah.
Nah, he's too complex of a man.
Way too complex.
What? Yeah, like no. I'm
Yeah.
just happy the person who did that didn't do Malcolm X or anything like that. But man, for real, there's so many movies that I'm happy didn't come out yet. Like now,
Hmm.
I actually would prefer movies almost take a break and everything go to TV series, because the showrunners around like right now are really doing justice to a lot of different things.
Especially with like Netflix and Hulu being
Yeah,
dominant streaming, uh,
and then Amazon Prime jumping in and
video, yeah, like it's like HBO,
mm-hmm.
like the way we watch TV is just unmatched to
it's it's
like
totally different.
years ago. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a whole different world. Like
Yeah.
it's a totally different world, and then people have a lot more freedom. Then you
Hmm.
got people who crowdsource stuff. Like a guy crowdsourced a Static Shock movie, and it
Hmm.
wasn't. I think I seen a bit of it. It looked dope, especially for somebody who just picked up a camera and made a movie, something they were passionate about.
Hmm.
And you can feel it, you can smell it. You know when there's passion behind something.
Hmm.
And folks, we're really running over time. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time and listening, especially if you made it to this point. Like truly, thank you.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
want to thank you to Aundrey, man, the legend. He's probably going to be a series
you
regular on here.
from that, but
Well,
I'm always happy to be on here whenever you want, man.
oh yeah, bro, it feels good to bounce ideas off of people. And folks, find somebody to talk to. If you're not going to go out and get a therapist, truly find somebody to talk to.
Hmm.
Like there's no reason to keep it all to yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Call up a friend you haven't talked to in years.
yeah,
Not saying treat him as your therapist, but
no, yeah, don't burden people with that.
definitely, interact.
Yeah,
Don't
interaction, man.
don't isolate yourself. It's not healthy. If you like being solo, I'm a very introverted person, but even I like to talk to
Oh yeah,
friends at least,
oh
not
yeah,
necessarily strangers, but friends.
yeah. And so, folks, man, follow your dreams. I still don't know what to call this podcast.
Oh,
Probably
man, what about it?
we'll
Yeah,
probably call it like Positive Vibes
yeah,
with Baron J67 or something. Nah, that sounds way too like crystal bally.
yeah.
Because that's not what this is. This is just straight legit facts, man. Well, folks, I'll figure out a show title. Let me know in the comments if you guys got any ideas. Um, Andre, did you want anybody to meet you on social media or anything?
I'm on Twitter. I don't, I'm not really that interesting of a tweeter, but you can find me there. It's my first name, AundreyMaurice. It's just Andre Maurice, all one letter or all one word.
There
Uh,
you go.
yeah, there you go. If you want to follow me, that's fine. If not, I'm not mad.
There you go. And then I got a link tree and all that other crazy stuff down below. Everything I wear, everywhere I want you to find me is Baron J67.
There you
Um, folks, dude, this was great. This worked out, and I'm gonna be doing more of this. Hopefully, it's weekly. If not, it'll be monthly. Because as you heard, I have a bunch of other podcasts. If you're at this point, much love, peace.
Peace.